Hey there guys, my name is Andrew Taranto and I'm super excited to come at you with another TRXC video. So this one's a little bit different. We're finally adding the face to the picture, and for the new people who just joined the channel, you can see that my channel has been largely dedicated to this TRXC stock. And you're clicking on it most likely because you want to know what is the price going to be. We want to know this, right? We want to know this. We all want to know this. So I want to give you guys my view, and I want to give you guys my opinion, and I want to give you guys how I got there, and maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, whatever the case may be. I hope you kind of hear me out. Before I get right into it though, I do want to give a big shout out to all of the new subscribers. This channel has grown immensely over the last 2 to 3 weeks. We've gained over about 1,000 subscribers, so and I really can't kind of put into words how grateful I am for that. So thank you so much. Going forward though, we have a lot more to do, and we have a lot more to grow. So, you know, I'm very excited towards the future and where this channel will be in the next year. So what I want to talk about though today is the TRXC price target. Now, TRXC, for those of you who aren't aware, or maybe they're just looking at, you know, what is this company, whatever, I'm just looking on YouTube for various companies. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. Regardless, TRXC is a medical device company, okay? What they do is they make surgical robotics for surgeons, obviously, to basically go in there and use a robotic instruments, you know, with their hands and their eyes. So they're able to use 2 hands and their eyes, which gives them three types of controls while operating the Senhance system. And that's the name of the system. It's the Senhance system. And they just added this year, 2020, this past year, the ISU, which is the Intelligent Surgical Unit, which is an absolutely incredible addition, which is, by the way, brand new, something that just kind of got involved, and they are now getting approval to use it in places all over the world. And we obviously saw that the other day with the meteoric rise all the way up to 70% on Monday, which was huge, guys. And if you ever want to catch up on any of the stock news, or maybe you missed out on something and you want to pick up anything, please, I urge you to check out all the rest of the videos on my channel. I go over everything under the sun with TRXC. So going forward, I don't want to kind of repeat myself too much for the people who have already kind of seen, who already kind of know. So like I said, if you want to get a better, deeper understanding, I have other available videos on my channel. So let's hop right into the price target. So the price target that I'm thinking of, and what the price target is that I'm considering, I always like to first start with a time frame. Now, I'm never one of those people, and I've seen these people who are like, you see them in the worst place in the world, I think, for stock advice is the Webull comment section. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's an awful place, and I really hope you never really take too much, look at it for as an entertainment purposes only. Because some of these people are saying this, up, it's end of the week, end of the month. Like, slow down. You know, listen, I would love for that to be the case. I would love for $6 by the end of the day tomorrow, or $7, or, you know, $10 by February. I would love that. Nothing more would make me happier. But I have to also reel myself in and say, you know, let's be realistic and let's look at what we can fundamentally consider. And when I first invested, that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about, there's no way this company should be worth 65 cents. No way in hell. Now, $4 is a different story, okay? And that's why we have to reanalyze, as the stock price grows, how we feel about the stock. Now, obviously, there wasn't the conference, there wasn't the CE approval in Europe, and there wasn't this patent. So 3 major things happened that also added to the growth of the stock. So with that being said, let's go into a couple numbers here so you guys can kind of get a good idea as to why I think it's going to grow to what I think it's going to grow to. So this last quarter, as I went over in one of my other videos, they have $1.1 million in revenue just in the last quarter. And all of 2020, they made about $3.3 million. Okay? So they made about 33% of their whole fiscal year within 1 quarter. And that, if that doesn't say growth, I don't know what else will. Now, obviously, you're thinking to yourself, $3 million, Andrew, that's all they made? what is this company? You know, it's $3 million. That's nothing. Are they even profitable? Well, that's a great question, and that's a great point to bring up. But what I want you to kind of remember is that this is a company in an industry that is ballooning, that is growing exponentially. Surgical robotics is, when I say the way of the future, I fundamentally do mean that, and I'm not joking. This is going to be a first step, and we're in the very early innings of this company and this industry, and we're just getting started. So if you think this price is hitting a peak and it's just gonna shoom and then brrr, no, it's just not possible to think that way. It just doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't. I wish it did, but it doesn't. I don't wish it did. But I know there's a lot of people who think like that, and I know there's people who come to my channel and they comment things like that, and I read those comments, and it makes me a little upset, but it is what it is. So in terms of the price target itself, so if I know that the revenues have increased by 33% within the last quarter, then we can also imagine to ourselves, okay, what's the revenues going to be looking like into the next year? Well, they've already given us that information. They're expecting within the next 2 years to grow their revenues by a total of over 400%. Within the next 2 years, okay? So I have to say that. I have to say, okay, 400%, right? That's a huge growth in revenue. And then on top of that, they have zero debt. Zero debt. Guys, $0 in debt. How many companies can you say have zero debt? Absolutely fantastic. So we know that the company has zero debt, and we know that the company has cash on hand for the next 2 years, or I think it's this year and then, so about a year and 3 quarters. But let's just round up, 2 years. So 2 years cash on hand, zero debt, in a growing industry with revenues going through the roof. Not to mention all of the other milestones that are also happening. So, given all that information, it is impossible for me not to be bullish on this stock. Okay? And I know that there's Wall Street analysts that knocked it down to a hold, and I understand that, but I don't agree with it. So what I'm going to state is the price target that I've come to, given the increases in revenue, given the milestones and everything, we're looking at a very real possibility for me, for this stock to get to $20 a share. Okay, there's the hammer. There it is. $20 a share is what I am personally saying I believe the stock will get up to. That's my opinion. I did a lot of research to get to there. You can check it out on my channel. I did a ton of research, and I can confidently say that I believe this company should be worth $20 a share. And you might be wondering, how did you get to that number? Why not 21 or 23 or 30? Well, obviously, when we do price targets, I think it's always good to have low, medium, and high. So I'm going to put my 20 as my medium. It's my medium estimate. I'm going to give it a low of $10 a share for a year out, and I'm going to give it a high of about $40 to $50 a share. Now you might be asking, why not higher? Well, the reason why I don't necessarily know if it's going to go higher than that is because I have a strong suspicion that COVID-19 is essentially going to interrupt this company's ability to necessarily make revenues happen as well as they want them to. So the sooner COVID gets out of hospitals, I believe the sooner these surgical units will be able to pump out. So if it doesn't get to it within this year, I think that would be still a great time to buy, because we're still looking at this company for the next 5 to 10 years based on just this industry's ballooning growth, the company's growth, and not to mention its main competitor is right now trading at $780 a share with only 40 million shares less, given the fact they just had an offering. So given all of that information, we have to be really, really serious and say to ourselves, wow, improved financials in a great industry with great milestones ahead, this stock has a lot of potential to grow. And that it does on the charts all the time. Every single time there's news, something happens. Within the next year, I'm expecting the stock to hit around $20 a share. And obviously we will see what happens. But like I said in my first video, best value investment of 2021. And I'm still sticking by that. I still believe it's a value investment, especially in this bull market that we're currently in. And I think that we're going to see tremendous amounts of growth. So get excited, obviously, but always remember, this is a year out. There are going to be pullbacks. There's going to be consolidation. There's going to be a ton of stuff that's going to happen. And on top of that, I'm also going to be updating you guys on as much news as possible, so you guys know exactly how I'm feeling about the stock on a weekly, daily basis, whatever the case may be, however often I can get it, just so you guys are made as absolutely aware as to what is happening and why it might be a time to sell, or it might be a time to downgrade, or it might be time to upgrade and start thinking bigger. We don't know what's going to happen, but that's why I recommend subscribe, ask questions, talk, do your research, which is what you're doing right now by watching the video. So thank you. And I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much for stopping by.